Hello and welcome back to Questions and Answers with Gabor. This is part 5 of a series where Pierre Richard is calling in from Montreal and asking Gabor questions as a result of hearing his interview on Conscious TV. Enjoy.
People that I know that will say, oh yes, but I don't have, I've got this big job, I've got the kids, and I'm going crazy, and I'm working like 16 hours a day, and there's 2 hours of traffic a day, and I have a lot of friends like that, we all know people who are in that situation, and they always have. It's almost as if, well, first of all, I understand they don't want to hear what you're talking about. Not really. So maybe they're not interested or ready or whatever. But what would you say to somebody like that who, and I'm sure you come upon people like that every day, people who are too busy, say, I don't have time for this.
Well, there's not much you can say to them. If someone is not ready, they are not ready.
Okay.
You might have heard my story. The only reason I got ready is because I had 12 years of depression.
Yes.
That's how I got ready. So the universe beat the shit out of me.
Yes.
People say, okay, I heard about this looking inside. I know how to do it. Why don't I try it? No. I want to try something else. No. Let's just look inside. So I was ready because I was in an existential crisis. My existence was in question. I wanted to kill myself, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So of course, when you're in an existential crisis, you're closer to your existence. So a little trial of looking inside worked really well. Now, those friends you're talking about, they are not in existential crisis, or at least they don't know they are.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they have their everyday life, and so far, they have always resolved their problems the usual way, right?
Yeah.
Which is out there.
Yeah.
Problem comes, I resolve it out there. I make more money, I adjust the cash flow, I save more money, I pay off my debts, I go to a better school, I enroll my son to military. Well, it's always out there.
Absolutely.
And they have been resolving it that way. If they are not in existential crisis, they will keep on doing that. Some people have the inclination, like some of us when we were kids, some people have the inclination to listen to stuff like we're talking about, but very few. So there's nothing you can say to them. If ever any one of them are in trouble, in some kind of a crisis. Okay, let's say you have a friend whose wife left or something. I don't know, whatever. Something really bad that makes the, oh my God, this is horrible. And I've been there. I know how it feels.
Yes, me too.
Horrible. It's like for 3 months I thought I was in burning hell.
Absolutely.
All this front portion was like burning like crazy.
Yep.
So at that point, when somebody has a challenge, you can don't mention spirituality, just say, there is another option. I learned something simple, where, instead of pushing the experience away from you, embrace it. And it's going to be really helpful, feel what you feel, be with it, feel the feeling. And I heard that will help you, like that. And the person will try it and say, oh, wow, how did you learn that? That works really well. It'll still hurt, but there's no suffering, right?
Right.
So at that point, they are ready to hear the option of awakening, perhaps, maybe. But if you just say, look, just embrace it, be with it. I've been there, it works. Breathe, feel the feeling, be with it. Then at that point, that person might be ready to hear about this subject.
Yes. I'm glad you brought that up, because I was thinking about that. I heard about your depression, and you've talked about that, and I was going to ask you. I said, if you're really suffering a lot, like you just mentioned, you've got a lot of inspiration to practice a very simple exercise like this if it makes you feel better.
Yes.
Someone who's not necessarily in an acute suffering situation may try it a bit. And I'm even thinking about myself. You know, I've done certain practices before and I get very excited. Like now I'm very excited. For instance, myself or somebody else, like, and I do it. Oh, this is great. You know? And I'm also at a point in my time where I've got a bit less work these days. So I've got more time so I can really delve into it. In a couple of weeks, I'll be more busy with my work. And I'm worried. I said, oh my God, when I start getting busy, you know, maybe I'll forget or I'll skip a few, skip doing this practice. I'll be too involved in my work. And after a while, just, you know, a couple of weeks, just forget about it completely. Like you say, that's a possibility. And I think most people can relate to that. You know, we have,
Yes.
you know,
That's
so how would you do with that?
well, there's a limited amount of things that you can do. Somewhere in the heart of your hearts, you have to feel that it's some sort of a priority for you.
Yes.
And so somehow we gotta get to a stage where, okay, God, thank you. I always want to hold your hand. I'm metaphorically speaking now, you know.
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. I never want to leave you. I always want to hold your hand. I don't want to let it go. And I want to be able to hold your hand while I'm doing my work. All of a sudden, you're holding God's hand, and you will find that the work you gotta do will go much easier. All of a sudden, you say something, it's like magic will happen. We have to resolve something, like magic, it will resolve. So the answer to your question is that one, you have to feel somewhere in your deep of hearts that you really want to keep holding God's hand. Two, make it practical. Just because you gotta get to work, it does not mean that now we're gonna wait with the practice, because this simple practice will help your work tremendously. You're sitting in your office or whatever, right? And you feel it. Yeah, feel it sitting in your office. And you just simply, in a very simple way, don't have to be complicated. You can say, wonderful, peaceful day, everything smooth. You don't even have to complete the sentence if you're in the present moment. People are being helped. You know, they're happy to pay for it. Everyone wins. I help people. I love people. They love me. You know, I mean, I make stuff up.
Yeah.
In that space, you work by declaration, and this is part of the alchemy. It relates to the subject called what now? What's after? That now you live your life from declaration, and when you can be in your business and live with declarations, you run it, manage it with declarations, it's amazing. Be peaceful and make a declaration. You don't have to have the reference point in your head. So, you know, if you're in a real estate transaction or whatever, you can just say, oh, financing approved. You know, if you're in the present moment, your mind is not going to tell you the inflationary pressures of the economy. So keep using your experience and your brain, but sometimes once in a while stop and just be. You can get there very easy. It's not going to take any time. You can only have it now anyway. And just say a few words that are declarations relating to your business, relating to your family, or whatever subject we are addressing, right? That will already help you be and stay in it. And the more you see it working, the more encouraged you will be in practicing. And don't forget, the universe wants to give this to you. This is the way the river flows. It's yours already, but you have to ask for it. And any minuscule asking like this, God, I want to hold your hand. Okay, another deal, whatever. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, yes. I like what you,
Incorporate it in your business.
yes. I like what you said about priorities, and it has to be a priority. And
Yes.
that I'm starting to feel quite strongly that for me, this is becoming a priority. Awakening is becoming a priority.
Yes.
It's becoming more and more important. And
Yeah.
that's essential ingredient.
Yeah. It's even logical that it's a priority, because the way the universe and the way the world is going, it will become everybody's priority. The only difference is going to be between people, whether or not you surrender deliberately, like what we talk about, or you'll be beaten into it.
Through suffering.
Suffering. It's like either suffering or surrender now. I mean, I'm using old words, but surrender, and then you will not need the 12 years depression, or you will not need tragedy. And somewhere in your heart, you'll know that it's true, and that's what you want to do.
Great.
One of the key to you is, for you, for everybody, but especially for you,
Yes.
is no expectation.
Yes.
You
That's
feel
hard.
you have no expectation. Don't do it for a reason. It's not a quest. It's just, no expectation. And the more no expectation you have, the easier it's gonna be.
Thank you for reminding me. I know it's true.
Crucial.
Yes. And every once in a while I have to say that, and don't label it, and don't try to say where you are or where you've gotten to and everything. Just let it be, and let the process take care of itself. You know, I'm a musician. I'm a professional musician. I've been doing this for a long time, and over 40 years. And as you know, music is never ending.
Yes.
There's never, when I was a kid, I thought, when I was 10 years old, I said, well, I learned to play the saxophone, and maybe it'll take 5-10 years, and then I'll be a musician, and that's it. And I'll just go out and play. And that doesn't work that way. It's always more and more deepening.
Exactly.
It's constant.
Just like it's deepening, like this is deepening.
It's the same process.
You go a millimeter towards God, and I call it God at this moment, but call it what you want. God goes a mile towards you.
Yes.
Just touch it. Just one touch. You can always have enough time for that touch. The quicker, the better, because there's no expectation.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
I like it.
Anyway, it was a wonderful conversation, Pierre. Thank you for.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I had a wonderful time. Thank you.
God bless you, and please let me know how you're progressing in your simplicity.
I will. I will. Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
All the best to you.
Well, thank you so much, Pierre, for calling us from Montreal and asking these wonderful questions. And thank you, Gabor, for answering them. Thank you, everyone else who was watching. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I have. And if you have any questions and would like to have them answered and recorded and shared with other people, please write to us. You can write to info@nuritoran.com, and we'll be happy to set something up for you. Thanks again for watching, and God bless.